I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And while you motherfuckers still stupid, the Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court, cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free, minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be.
I'm here. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. L.A.R. movement still moving. You see the thumbnail? Shout out to BGS. I saw he had like a Matrix inspired thumbnail. I actually didn't rip that off. I did it like, I don't know, maybe an hour. I made it an hour earlier than his live. And then when I saw it, I said, oh, well, I can't use nothing different, but whatever. So it ain't no disrespect. Ain't no trying to rip him off, nothing like that. Shout out to Big Duke. He was live earlier. Now we got to get into this topic. Unbrainwashing Black America. See, what I see in social media, right? You see this dynamic where you see people playing up the stereotypes of Black America, and then you see people deconstructing the stereotypes of Black America, and you're seeing an issue with both. So now, whether it's generational issue, whether it's a political issue, whether it's a gender issue, whether it's a parenting issue, whether it's a religious issue, you're starting to see people in Black America kind of step away from the brainwashing. But you see, and you still see people like holding on to it. The same way you're seeing people walk away from the brainwashing, you're seeing people fight for dear life to keep the brainwashing going. You know, so part of the reason I'm doing this, I was listening to while I was at work a clip of not a clip, a whole podcast of Donnell Rollins. If y'all don't know Donnell Rollins, the comedian, if y'all don't know the comedian, Ashley Larry from the Dave Chappelle show. So he had Dr. Umar on, and part of him being a comedian and just part of him being a person, they were talking about things, and every now and then he'd throw a joke in there, and sometimes the joke had great timing, and then other times it looked like I don't want to talk about this. So this is what I mean by unbrainwashing Black America. You have some Black folks out here who have the belief that whatever the white man's ice is colder. When white people do it, it's better. I'm successful when I'm surrounded by white people. I'm in white environments, right? What's up, right? And what's interesting is, and you get this from people who just regular day-to-day life, and you see these people who want to be, let's just say, the token Negro. They don't, and sometimes they do it willingly, and sometimes they do it unconsciously. You know what I'm saying? But if I got to move up in the world, it's got to be wider and wider spaces. And it's like, okay, that's nice. But then these people become adults. They are adults, but they might become parents. And I got my kids in the nice white neighborhood, and they go to the all-white school, and they're getting taught a white education, and it's gonna make them better in life because they're surrounded by whiteness. And then they turn around and go and say something like, "Man, where all the Black people at? Man, where the Black folks at?" It's like, bruh, shut up. My kid has to deal with all of this racism and passive racism with these white people. And it's like, bruh, that's where you fought to be. And here's the issue. See, some people look at Black people want to move up the social ladder or the ladder of class or tax brackets. And a lot of us aren't really living in reality. See, you can get to the middle class and the upper class and be in a nice area, the nice neighborhood that have a good amount of Black people there. But some of y'all just want, it's more exclusive to y'all to be surrounded by a lot of white people or a lot of, others. You get what I'm saying? And then when you start getting disrespected, then it's all of a sudden, I need some of my people. It's like, man, shut up. You put yourself in that position, okay? Don't nobody want to hear this. You put yourself in this position. It's stupid. That's what you did. So then you have that. And then you have the other people who, I'm not making it in life unless I'm surrounded by whiteness. And then they get surrounded by whiteness, and then they swear to God that makes them unblack. I made it here. Now I talk like this, and I believe, if anybody could do it, I could do it, and anybody could do it, and everybody could do it. And I don't know why these Black people don't want to be where I am. And it's like, it's not that they don't, because I'm successful. And it's like, bruh, people want to be successful. Everybody wants to be successful, okay? Everybody wants to quote unquote move up in the world. But what they don't want to do is live their adult life pretending to be somebody else to feel like they're important. See, that's where you're tripping. That's where you're tripping. So it's like you brainwashed. And now you're seeing people kind of unbrainwashing Black America. Like, listen, I can be successful and be myself. I don't have to tone down myself in America. I might have to back off of being blackity black, while I'm working my way to to get in certain situations in life. But once I've established myself, I'm gonna just be me. And being me doesn't mean everything I do is, I'm doing this because I'm blackity black, and I just want everybody to know that I'm blackity black. That's not like we don't do that. You know, everything black does not have to be the antithesis of white. That's not being ultra black either, because basically you're only being black because you're trying to show white America I'm not you. And it's like they already know. They already know y'all not the same. So there's no reason to be extra about it. It's not gonna, it doesn't help or hurt the situation. So it's like, that's an issue. And this is the other thing, because we have the stereotype of thuggery and hood rats, right? And I see the unbrainwashing of Black America with that, where it's like, you got people like, look, I'm the antithesis of that. I'm not street, I'm not a thug, I'm not blah blah blah. People are like, I'm not a hood rat, blah blah blah. And you seeing sometimes Black people like play the you're not black enough because you're not acting hood enough. And part of the issue is, especially now, the idea of Black people not being black enough because they're not hood enough is really coming from people that's not from the hood like that. You get what I'm saying? Like that's becoming that's really a huge problem, because you want to play this game of being black means you hood. And it's like, but y'all not even from the hood like that. And on the flip side, you have a lot of people who look at Black America as just ultra hood. And you have people who put stereotypes on Black America because it's ultra hood. And you got to look at these people, whether they be Black or non-Black people, and you go, bro, you not even from the hood or have been around the hood. You just making stuff up. When you go to the hood, when you go to the south side of Chicago, oh my God, the murder, oh, the mayhem. Where are you from? Since you know about the south side of Chicago like that, where you from? Oh, I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. So you ever been to the south side of Chicago? No. So why don't you talk about Florida? It's hoods in Florida, right? I can't talk about the hoods in Florida because I don't go there. Okay. So why are you talking about hood in the Midwest when you born, raised, and live in the South? What are you talking about right now? And then it's the same thing. You have black people like that. Like they bring up everything ultra black. Then they wind up like Candace Owens when she was on the Breakfast Club. When they said God is good, God is great. God is great. That's not what that's okay. See, you so far gone from Black America that you don't even know what the black, everybody's black church religious experience is. You don't even know that. So everything is the hood, the south side of Chicago. But God is good. God is great, isn't he? No, that's not how we respond to that, buddy. So you don't know us like that. So then and the other thing about that is you start seeing more and more people on social media make up their idea and ideals of what black is, and you're starting to see how it's breaking down. And you're even starting to see people who follow certain people, who've been followers of people, who've been followers of certain ideas and ideologies. They have to take a step back and go, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this whole time I've been agreeing with this person, and the vast majority of what they're saying is just based on stereotypes that they really aren't really privy to like that? And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. But then, then you got the brainwashing of Black America, because then you have people, as you see, on social media that for the most part, are quote unquote extra hood, right? They just extra hood, and then you sitting there, you looking like, nah, ain't no way, ain't no way. Because you got to think about it. Common sense will tell you this: if you see all of these quote unquote thuggish, criminal minded, gangster people, right? If they was really in the streets like that, they wouldn't be on social media. Because they don't how many times have you seen people play around on social media, go live like Facebook, Instagram, that drop your location type of idea and get themselves shot? So now you got these people who got whole pages out here, right? This how it really is. This how we really get down. It's like, nah, nah. Y'all just y'all living up to a stereotype because you think it pays. That's how you get that whole love and hip hop type of dynamic. You see a lot of people just trying to be ultra hood, and y'all don't even, and people don't pay attention to it like that. And what I mean by that is this: since people like to use the hip hop culture, if you notice, if you even want to use rappers, right? A lot of rappers who are really hood, they don't actually, they have a different demeanor than the people who are just trying to be super hood on social media. You get what I'm saying? So all you kids and young men that's tatted up in your face, tatted, and then you trying to look all intimidating. If you notice, people who are actually hood like that, they don't do all that. They don't do all the extra to look more thuggish or look harder than they don't do all that. That's not how they get down. But y'all just trying to stand out. Like, look at, I'm trying. People grew their hair out all kind of crazy ways, and it's like, we don't. If you really from the hood, you don't do all of that. Like, the girls would do all of that and the crazy colors and all that. The guys is like, nah, we gotta cut. Like, it stopped at a certain point. A lot of y'all don't really want to hear it, but when you was around college age, maybe when you were a young adult, like like the fresh out of college age, all that trying to be super attention getting kind of started going downhill. Like, people didn't need all of that. They didn't want to look at me. That a lot of black folks, we don't play like that. Like, that's a minority of people who need that much attention. And especially when you talk about hood culture, that attention stuff, that was like at the week, on a weekend at a party, I'm showing out for this few hours or whatever, and then I'm going back. Because you didn't want to be seen everywhere, because if you've seen everywhere, somebody gonna get you if you was really in that life like that. But y'all just playing around like life is a movie. You get what I'm saying? So when I say unbrainwashing Black America, it's like people have started telling people, yo, this fantasy y'all talking about, this is not reality. And then you got people like, no, this is really reality. This is how I really go down. And this is what I really do. And that's why you see these people on social media being extra ignorant. Because they really trying to, beat a stereotype, because it's quote unquote profitable. And people gravitate to it because it's what they want to believe that we are. So all you're getting is some black people trying to be the most, the biggest representation of ignorance that they can be for money. And then that's when you get the story, well, I was just doing, it's all entertainment. It's not really real. And it's like, oh, okay. I'm just trying to get y'all attention. It's like, oh, okay. All right. I hear you. So that's why I'm doing this and that's why I'm doing that, because that's what people gravitate to. And it's like, oh, okay. But is that what we as black folks really gravitate to? And this is what I'm getting at. Like, um, now you see more and more people bringing out the facts. Just bringing out common sense, because we got to unbrainwash Black America. Because you know this idea of we want to be the most gangsterfied culture in the world is really just stupid, because it don't add up. It doesn't add up, because crime has been going down for almost 30 years now. So that should say something, right? But it doesn't. But people are worried about the music and hip hop. And guess what? People not buying the music and buying hip hop as much anymore, because people are tired, because the message isn't real. It's not real. It's not based in reality. So people not even really purchasing it like that. People not really streaming it like that. Like that, it's just whatever. So the artistry of it went down. The sincerity of it went down. The profit of it went down. So it's like, so now even the image has gone down. But people are say, I swear to God, you know, people are swear to God, like, oh, you know, this is what Black people want. It's like, I don't know what you want, bro. I can't call it. So now we're people are having an issue, having a huge issue. And let me pivot to something a little bit. You see the unbrainwashing of Black America in a religious aspect. I'm not gonna say Black America doesn't believe in God, because that's not true. But you're starting to see Black America separate religion from spirituality more. I would say America was more religious and more spiritual, you know, to at least the 90s. I would say that. And I would say somewhere in the 90s to now, in the last, close to 30 years, we've got less and less church based, less and less, religious based. Even from Christianity to even Islam, we're becoming more and more sensible, in the sense of, yeah, I know what the Bible said. Yeah, I know what the Quran said. I know what the Torah said. You get what I'm saying? So that's nice. But I'm not about to ignore how people are using this religion as a tool to screw me over. That's what I'm not gonna do. You get what I'm saying? So now we have that issue, right? So you're seeing folks like folks can't appeal to our um sense of God and religion now. What would Jesus do? Yeah, I screwed you over, but God sees the good in you. Some people like, listen here, listen here. You know, try Jesus, don't try me. They starting to sing like Toby, right? Like, nah, we ain't playing that game. You're seeing that, because people are like, you're not finna use religion to play me. You're not. And it's the same thing with Islam. I think, and I'll say this, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I just got to call a spade a spade. Man, what's up? What's up, man? Shout out to Ed, man. I would say that about Islam too. I think the issue with Islam in Black America is too many people found Islam in prison. I think so they had they found religion in prison, and that was the big influx with people with Islam. So that kind of tainted their religion, and they had to start to deal with the racism from their quote unquote Muslim brothers, right? So now some of them are starting to realize, yeah, I'm gonna be Muslim, but I see. I ain't rocking with y'all. Just like y'all let me know y'all ain't rocking with me. I ain't rocking with y'all. You know. So that becomes the issue, right? And now you're starting to see people go, hey man, it is what it is. Like I'm gonna believe in God, but I ain't gotta. God God is not gonna tell me that I'm gonna have to give you a pass and everything. And this is what I mean, because people had used the Bible and people have used the Quran, you know, for centuries to do evil. People will tell you the Bible says you should forgive, da 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 da, and people act like the Bible doesn't say stuff like don't go around screwing people over. See, people like the Bible. Yeah, I did you wrong, but the Bible says you should forgive, and the Bible says forgive and forget. The Bible says he was without sin shall not cast the first stone. And it's like, hey, the Bible told you not to sin, though. You don't get to sin and then tell me I shouldn't cast the stone because you're trying to screw me over. The Bible says, only God could judge me. What? Wasn't you in court last week? Yeah, you got judged, didn't you? Yeah, did you tell the judge that the Bible says you couldn't judge you? No, okay then. I don't want to hear that. So now, you starting to see Black America go, listen, man, we're not having this. You're not playing these games no more. And sometimes I'll say this, even with the backing off of religion, there's a bad aspect to it, because you've seen some of us who were raised by very spiritual people. We haven't passed that down to our kids, so our kids are kind of like godless kids, right? So a lot of the sucker stuff going on in Black America, it does have an air of people lacking a relationship with God and spirituality, and just the idea of right and wrong. Because people are out here doing stuff, swearing to God there's not going to be any kind of karma, any kind of consequence, and that's what's weird to me. Because for us of a certain generation, there's no other way I can say this. It's like Black America acts like white kids in the 90s. That's where Black America is now. Like we act like white kids in the 90s. Like, I could do what I want, Mom. Nobody can tell me what to do. I'm stressed out by life, man. It's like okay, you're starting to see that in Black America, and it's like maybe y'all need a little bit more God in your life with that one. So now we have this, we have this thing where we stepping out of being brainwashed by religion, but at the same time, the backside, the bad side of that is people have kind of stepped in the, let me just be a little chaotic, and just because, and it's like, nah, we can't roll with that. We can't roll with that. So, like I said, we unbrainwashing Black America. Now, as you can see with the political aspect, you're really seeing the unbrainwashing of Black America, because I will say after the Civil Rights Movement, and I can say up until the 80s, you were still seeing that idea of Black America fighting for a goal, fighting against the United States of America's built-in racism and unfairness, right? But the thing about it was, Black America fighting against America's racism put us on autopilot politically. So we were always, kind of fighting against racism and fighting against this quote unquote discrimination, oppression, blah, blah, blah. That's how everybody else came into the fold because we were so busy fighting for ourselves, we started fighting for everybody else. But politically, we didn't ask questions. We didn't really ask questions. And you would hear the rumblings, as the years went on, as to people going, hey, how is it that we fighting for for how did they get this done with these people, but they couldn't get this done with us? Wait a minute, how did they get this done with that group, but then they couldn't get this done with us? Wait a minute. How did we help them people over there, and then they came over here and they act like this with us? Wait, like you would hear that, but it wasn't it didn't reach a critical mass yet. So now what you're seeing is people are asking questions. And like I said, now you're seeing the people fight back against the questions. Like, black folks, you're not supposed to ask no questions now. We black now. We black. We supposed to fight. Fight for what, though? Fight for who, though? Fight, like why is our agenda to fight for everybody else? No, that is not anybody else's agenda to fight for us. But brother, we got the Rainbow Coalition. That was the 80s. To the Black and Brown Coalition, that I don't know how y'all came up with that. I really don't. But it happened. It didn't really happen, but we were saying that for years, and then Black and Brown, and then brown people go to Black and Brown. That had been going on for so long, people started saying it like it was a real thing. So now you start seeing people, people getting unbrainwashed in Black America, like, hey, I don't, no, I don't like how these policies are going. And now you get that you gonna, this is where we have that, y'all gonna let Trump do it, but Trump, and I remember, because I think the first time I was able to vote was 2000. And that was Bush and John Kerry. Was it John Kerry? Was it John Kerry? Who was the Bill Clinton's it might have been John Kerry, Bill Clinton's vice president. And because I remember he won the popular vote, but he lost the election. You know what I'm saying? That's not John Kerry. I forgot. Gore. Thank you. Al Gore. Appreciate that. It's been a minute. Al Gore won the popular vote, but lost the election. That's when they had the whole election scandal with the hanging Chad in Florida and all that other bull, right? And I never forget, from that point on, I was watching people really not really get into the politics, but get into, I like this guy. I like his demeanor. I like his swagger. He sounds presidential. It didn't. And after a while, people go, yeah, okay, a president is not supposed to sound like an idiot. I get that. But we've elected multiple presidents that sound like idiots. And we've elected multiple presidents that sounded like they were smart guys. But we started playing this game where you started seeing people in Black America go, maybe these black folks right. And it started really with, somebody brought up Obama, when I remember when everybody turned on Jesse Jackson because he was on TV. And I even said it too, man. He got caught talking about, I should cut his balls off. And it's like, bruh, you mic'd up. You too old to not know you mic'd up. You was in the civil rights movement and you mic'd up. Come on now. And then, and I remember people turning on Tavis, and see the Jesse Jackson thing was one thing. And then when people turned on Tavis Smiley and Cornel West for saying, look, man, he a politician, man. And people didn't really get it, but somewhere maybe about the 6th year of him being president, then people started coming around. Man, I can't believe this. Man, wait a minute now. He don't care about black people at all, man. These white people do all kinds of stuff, and he just letting it slide. And it's like, yeah, yeah. People told you that already. So now you started to see more black people go, okay, all right, I see what it is now. Because we wanted a lot of symbolic victories, and then wanting symbolism for a lot of people didn't wear off. It just didn't wear off. And after a while, you started seeing people go, look, man, the symbolism, no. I don't need symbolism now, dog, because the symbolism ain't worth nothing. Symbolism ain't a policy. We got a black man who, as Chris Rock was a half black president who did everything for everybody else in America, but couldn't do nothing for black people. But throw a few parties at the White House and have a bunch of black celebrities and journalists, like, I was with Obama. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you started seeing people in black America like, all right, bro. All right. Y'all took some pictures at the White House. Congratulations. So you see it now because you see people questioning the celebrities now. Now in 2024, you see people like, y'all should, you black folks, we need to do this, we need to do that. And you starting to see black people go, nah, bro. You, matter of fact, you rich already. You paid. And people pay you to say stuff like this. I can't put my life in your hands. I can't do it. That was the other advent of social media. You started to see the different opinions of black America. It's the same thing. How can I say that? It's the same thing on the other side. You started seeing, people fit the stereotype of a black Republican, a person who was brainwashed, like white. Everything has got to be the white way, because it looked like the vast majority of black Republicans were just a political version of Get Out, because they all had that assimilated, look in their eyes, just assimilated, crazy look, like, oh, the white people have me saying exactly what they want me to say. And it's like, bruh. And I think even for them, I started seeing the breakup when Michael Steele was the head of the Republican Party. And the people forget that in the sunken place, yeah. People forget that when Michael Steele was the head of the Republican Party, a lot of what he did put the Republican Party in the position that it is today. But he was doing so good at the time, once Obama was done, we can't, we had the black Negro for the Democrats, and we had the black Negro killing for the Republicans, and now give it back to the white. And Michael Steele had to go, oh shit, okay, yeah, I believe in Republican ideals, but these white folks are just racist. Like, bruh, you've been having a yarmulke head for 20 years. You've been having that George Jefferson for 20 years. You ain't figured that out yet. But when he had to come to that realization. But then you started seeing it more and more and more. And that's where you get the Blexit. Blexit came out a few years back. And that's when, honestly, that's when you started hearing all the people started questioning people's ethnicity, or nationality, because people started coming out against black people who look like, who for intents purposes, they're black, but then you finding out they're like the Coleman Hugheses. That's when all that, we go to the Tariq Nasheed talk about tethers and all. That's how that actually started. You started seeing more and more black people in a political aspect who were Republicans talk about black America, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Like who? And then you started realizing, oh, this person not a black American. So then even with that, in Blexit, you had that issue where, the hypocrisy of it, where you black people need to get off of that Democratic plantation. These white people on the Democrats, they give you money and tell you to do whatever they want to do. And then you have Blexic, which was black people who was on a Republican plantation getting paid by white people that was telling them exactly what to do. And it's like, oh, we playing this game now, you know? Yeah. So now it's like, okay, you starting to see, black America get unbrainwashed, because now you're starting to see politically that people have all these agendas on either side. And now you got to step back and go, okay, all right, I see it. I see it now. You either you're here to help black America or you're here to hurt black America. And once people figured out who was helping and who was hurting, you started seeing a division, right? And just even in the ideology of how people spoke and how people started moving after that. It's the same, like, back up for a second. It's the same thing when people talk about the shields. You start seeing the shields even on the Democratic Party. You like, people are looking at it like, bruh, y'all so, like, y'all agendas don't make no damn sense for black America. Y'all got a gay agenda, an immigration agenda, and y'all black, but y'all don't have a black agenda. It don't make no sense. Yeah, we all need to come together. It's like, and common sense will tell you, when somebody says we all need to come together, at this point, you got to figure out they're just saying, look, I need to hide. Like, I was hiding in a group of y'all. We need to come together so I can hide behind y'all again. And now we like, no, that's what hold your own nuts is coming from with black America. Like, okay, we gonna see how you act when you hold your own. And now that's what you're seeing that more. And you're seeing people kind of, people scattering like roaches when the lights come on, people acting funny. People having an issue now. Because you're seeing how everybody else who put stereotypes on black America, for the most part, they are exactly the stereotype that they say we are. So that's another aspect of it. But let me pivot one more time. You can see the unbrainwashing of black America in a relationship aspect. That's what all these people was mad about. The black manosphere, the red pill, blah blah blah. All we had a certain stereotype of men being bad, evil, cheaters, woman beaters, gambling the family's savings away. You get what I'm saying? And then we had on the other end, oh, Father God, this woman is an angel. She's a black angel who never said a foul word, never lied, never did anything wrong. She was always holding it down for the family with her hands clasped, praying to God that things would work out fine. So, all your fathers was evil, and all your mothers was angels. Your daddy's name was Lucifer Morningstar. You know what I'm saying? And your mother was she was Mary Magdalene. Well, Magdalene was the prostitute, so we just gonna go the Mother Mary, right? So what you started seeing was, the beautiful thing about giving people like technology and social media and everybody having a microphone, people were starting to tell on themselves, and that's what happened, in all of these processes. People started telling on themselves, and the stereotype that people gave and the actual reality of people's situations, they don't line up. So now, all these men back in the day, they were cheating, they had a side family, and then that didn't add up. And then you go, wait, and then people kept talking, and it's like, wait a minute. Wait, time out. You mean to tell me that man, that side family was his actual family. He was married to that lady that you said was the side family the whole time. No, wouldn't that make you the side family and your family the side family? Uh, but he was wrong, and it's like and then you had DNA testing. DNA testing has ruined a lot of families in the last 10, 15 years. You know, Maury Povich started a trend of that started unbrainwashing Black America, because you like using that like good and evil dynamic of man versus woman. You saw it with a show like Maury Povich, when every woman came on the show and she said everything she had to say, and they booed every man religiously every episode. Boo, and they just had too many guys, too many. You are not the father, and the girl run off and do her fat sprint to the back and fall on the ground crying, and the cameraman chasing her around. And then people started having to go, wait a minute now. I just something ain't right now. Bringing back 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 guys, and having the same thing over and over and over again. And then you started seeing a market for it. And then you started seeing grown men and grown women who have daddy issues and mommy issues. Because I can say that, I would say, like, since I'm 44, a lot of the stereotypes of the 80s and 90s and 2000s about men, a lot of that's coming to a head now, and that's why people, you would see younger people, even recently, they were using the stereotypes of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, because they didn't want to talk about the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, because too many people started figuring out that they've been lied to, or their whole childhood was a lie, or when they became an adult, they started to go like, yo, when they became a parent, they started to realize, oh, now I see the issue. That's what, like, part of this is. You can get on YouTube now, you see all these court proceedings, and people are starting to piece together their childhood as far as like father mother issues, and they're seeing people been running the same game in the courts for years, to the point that they didn't even stop running this game, and the courts kept enabling this game. And now you're starting to see adults go, oh, that's why we moved. Oh, that's what happened. That's why I was in that situation. So now you're starting to see that the Ayanna Van Zant Fix My Life show, when it was, it was ambushing dads in the beginning, and then she started just chilling out and actually getting to the bottom of the situation, and starting to see, oh, Black America's problem isn't that a dad isn't in the home. The problem might be that mom is crazier than a mother. And then you started seeing that. So now, like, people have to unpack that and live in it. And it's to the point where, it's and I'm gonna get into some of this. And it's to the point where now, and I hate to say what I'm about to say, I really do. It's to the point where now you see the brainwashing of Black America. You see the brainwashing with some people on social media, because they're Black people talking about Black America in a way that you can tell never impacted their life. So they're just talking from a stereotype, especially with the relationship stuff. That's why you see the quote unquote simping, and the on one end, and on the other end you see the quote unquote man hate. That's why you saw like people having an issue with Kevin Samuels, the way he created his show and the way it was, because people forget, and this is part of the brainwashing. When Kevin Samuels was talking to men directly, the way he was talking to men, it wasn't an issue. But when he started talking to women the exact same way, of course the platform blew up, with that and COVID. But then when it blew up, then you had all of these black men hating him. And then you had all these black women co-signing the black men that hated him. And then you had a bunch of black men and women who's like, I really didn't listen to what he was saying. But now that I listened to him, I mean, I can't say that he lied. And then you had this stuff where, you know what? I'm going to do my own show. And I'm going to show it's not exactly like he says it is. And years after he passed, people are still trying to, they still got these shows running, and it looks as crazy as ever. And they can't just admit like, damn, it is that way. You get what I'm saying? So now you having to see the unbrainwashing of Black America, because now people are like, okay, I get the issue now. And this is what I'm gonna pivot into on this point. We're at a point in Black America where we've kind of figured out that you got to live. See, just like we tell everybody else to hold their own nuts, you got to hold your own nuts. And if you over here being black and you cosplaying a nigga, whatever happened to you, bro. If you over here black, but you want to cosplay a ratchet bitch, whatever happened to you, girl. Like, who cares? Who cares? Because this is what you're seeing now. And now you're starting to see people kind of step back and go, oh, okay, I'm not finna have sympathy for you. I don't want to hear your sob story of how you decided you wanted to live out a rapper image in your teens and 20s. And all of a sudden, your life took a major hit from that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how you decided you wanted to be the mother of hood rats in your teens and 20s, and now your life took a hit from it. And now, oh my God, these men ain't here. It's crazy. No, shut up. Because now you're seeing people go, oh, okay, because now so many people participated in playing these dumb games that, their excuses are looking the exact same. Which one? Hold up. Wait a minute. Yeah, my bad. And the thing is that black folks don't even get it. If that's the one, you're right. Like, the thing about the culture, see, that's what I mean by cosplaying. When it comes to black culture, you got a lot of black folks cosplaying, and they don't and this is what I would say from time to time. It's a lot of black people being black people in blackface, or niggas in blackface. They cosplaying out here, and they keep saying it's the culture, and it's like, bitch, what culture exactly is it? You know what I'm saying? Like what culture is it that you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because if you a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people don't want to hear it. My bad. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but Black America got different cultures. We got the Southern culture is different from East Coast culture, it's different from Midwest culture, it's different from the West culture. And guess what? And on the East Coast, Philly culture is different from New York culture, which is different from Baltimore culture, which is or DC culture. It's different. And the South Florida culture is different from Louisiana culture, is different from Georgia culture, is different from Texas culture, is different from Tennessee culture. It's different. Same thing with the Midwest. Chicago is different from Ohio, Indianapolis, Kansas City. It's different. So when people try to play this game like, you from Florida, but you swear to God you acting like you from Compton, I ain't trying to hear that, because you don't know what you're talking about. So this is what I see over and over again. And that's why I say it's like it's unbrainwashing. Because what people are starting to realize is, oh, you playing. Y'all playing. And part of this is people are realizing being black is not a game. Being black is not like a PlayStation avatar. You know, that's where we're at now. And that's what I mean by um because we gotta like I can take the thug culture out of it. We got too many black people who are now, in my opinion, we got too many black people who are gun nuts. You know, they love guns. I love guns. I love guns. And it's like, bruh, you just you just somebody who's soft and you like guns because you like the idea of killing somebody. So you're basically a blank. You're the suburban version of a thug, except you know you're not in the hood. You know, you look at black people who are in the hood. They're selling crack and oh, they're pimping women and they're hitting licks. So now you a gun nut and you in the suburbs, you know, with a pistol on you in Chick-fil-A. Like, man, I gotta watch these ops. These ops gonna want my nuggets. These ops ain't gonna take my Polynesian sauce. They ain't gonna look. I want the cookie, ma'am. Yes, I want the cookie, but be careful because these ops out here. You know, and it's like, you know, you never know if somebody's gonna break into your home in the middle of the night. So you have to have all 97 of your guns ready. It's like, bro, just tell the people that you a gun nut and you walking around all around suburban America picking fights with people, and now you don't know if any of those people finna come break your neck. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's this unbrainwashing. Because people are starting to play this game where, how can I say this? I talked about this a long time ago. They call it the age of Aquarius or the age of Aquarium, Aquarius or Aquarian, where we're in an age where truth is more prevalent, right? And part of that, if you look at it that way, you do see how at this particular point you see truth in your face and you see people fighting to live a lie. You know, it don't make no, but and you seeing people struggling between truth and a lie. You know, a pistol at Popeyes is not essential. It's not essential. You know, a pistol at Popeyes is not essential. If you need a pistol at Popeyes, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Don't make no sense. That's hilarious. You know, so we have this part of it is this unbrainwashing is people are going, okay, because let's take it a step further. You're seeing a lot of people in Black America say, talking money. Let's have this money talk. You know, let's have this money talk. You know, and what you're seeing is you're starting to see people talk about money and how to get money and how to use the system. And you started seeing a rise of scammers trying to tell you all these sucker ways. Well, if you get an LLC and an S Corp, and then you get this amount of credit and you could get that amount of credit for your business. And then you get that amount of credit, then you flip that to flip that and flip that. And what they're not telling you is, bro, that's just wire fraud. That's pretty much what that is. It's wire fraud. You know what I'm saying? You gonna start a business to ask for money and then not really had a business, but you bought yourself a bunch of stuff. You know, but they're not telling you how that's gonna end. Because they're not gonna send you to prison at first. They're gonna straddle you with that debt because you got in business. That's what's gonna happen first. They're gonna straddle you with that debt. You decided to get 6 figures worth of business loans, and you really ain't got a good business idea, but once you lost that money, oh bro, hey man, it's a loan is a loan, buddy. You got to pay that back. But then on the flip side, you got the other aspect where you got people going, hey man, if you can do this, you can invest this way, you can try this. This might take you a certain amount of time, a certain amount of years, you know, you know, and then if you do this proper way, depending on your mathematics, you'll make money. So and let me back up about the unbrainwashing, because part of, and I hate that, I really don't like having to say this, but it's, in my opinion, it's true. When people talk about their fathers not being in the household, it affected the black community, or and our households being predominantly single mothers, right? What they didn't say was, in other ways you see the effects of being negative. And what I mean by that is this: when we talk about finance and money and business, what you really started to see was a bunch of grown men who didn't know anything about business because, quote unquote, their father wasn't in the home, because their mama told them, when you go to school, you get an education, you get a good job. That's what happened. That's the thing. I mean, I'll get to that. Well, I'll get to your comment in a second. So what happened was, you have a lot of people, who want to play this game where they didn't realize that, okay, you went to school, you got an education, some of y'all got a good job, most people didn't. Most people just got a lot of debt. But now you're starting to see people go, oh, how you make money is like hands-on sometimes, because they didn't tell people how to make white collar money, right? When you went to school, you didn't learn how to make white collar money. They didn't teach you that. And people didn't learn how to get a blue collar trade that makes money. That's not what happened. That's not what happened whatsoever. So what happened was, now you're seeing men go, oh, if I got into a business where I was actually hands-on with fixing stuff, or if I was working in construction, I would make more money. If I was working in engineering, I would make more money. And people used to say STEM, but ultimately that meant, if I was working in oil and gas, I would make more money. Like if I was here or there, if I was on the docks, I would make money. If I had a TWIC card and I was on the ships, I would make more money. If I was, a roughneck, working on the oil rigs out on the land and out in the Gulf, I would make more money. If I was working sanitation and I had to clean under the city, I would make more money. If I was a welder, I would make more money. But part of not having, quote unquote, the fathers around is people didn't see how people were actually making money. Because back in the day, I remember, them taking young boys out and, hey, listen, we about to build a house, so you coming. We about to lay a foundation, you coming. Like I said, we about to do landscaping, you coming. We about to do some electrical work, you coming. We about to fix these cars, you coming. So part of the quote unquote fathers not being in the house, it took that out of that, and the girls started not paying attention to that, because the fathers would come home and they would respect the fathers that have to show the girls, listen, your dad just came. The girls started figuring out dad was working this amount of hours doing all of these things, and this is why my mom was like, let me get this ready for him, let me get that ready for him. Because the kids used to see people, the your parent coming to school, that died out. I don't know, maybe the 90s, if that. Like I knew it was in the 80s predominantly, but that I remember. But bring your kid to work day, and your kid coming to the school to tell them what they do. All that had died out. So you got families that don't respect what people do to make money, and how long it might take, and the amount of strain it might take on a person. So now you're seeing a generation of men figuring it out again, like, oh damn, oh, part of being a father is part of being a provider. You gotta bust your ass like that. You gotta work like that. And then you started seeing, and now you're still seeing the women like kind of play this game where, well, if a man's around me, he got to give me everything, and I got to get everything for nothing. And it's like, you don't respect somebody's work ethic and what it takes for them to get what they got. That's why you'll never be with anybody right now. Now, let me back this up. Here's a problem. Just in reference, if what I'm stating, if I'm talking about it, the answer to the problems that I'm stating is doing the opposite. It's that simple. If I talked about being overweight, and I'm saying I did this and this and this and this to be overweight, I don't have to tell you the answer, because all you got to do is do the opposite of what I did. So when I'm stating these issues, to fix it, it's the exact opposite. So that becomes part of the topic at times, because I'll say this, and this, and I was getting at that earlier. What I've learned over the years is Black America don't want a solution. Because if I can give you the problem, like school gives you the problem, and you're supposed to figure out the solution. So if I'm giving you the problem, you're supposed to figure out the solution, because the solution is for you. So if I find a problem and I figure out the problem and I give you the solution, here's the problem. Because black folks have given Black people the solution for decades, the solutions for decades. The issue is the solutions take effort. And this is part of the split in Black America now. People are tired of putting up, if I'm solution based and I'm gonna do the solutions, I don't want to do the solution for you. That's what's been going on. That's part of this unbrainwashing. Being a Black American don't mean I gotta fix your problems. If I fix my problems, then I'm gonna fix my problems. We have a certain entitlement to, we have people who go, and I'll tell you what has happened. I remember when people started talking about it. It was in the 90s. Tupac, actually. I think, was it him and MC Breed, or was it MC Brains? When they made the song, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. And that was the hook. I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. And people were upset, because that became a slogan. And it's like, well, what do you mean? If you get yours, you don't take care of the community. You don't take care of your other brothers, your other sisters. That's selfish to get yours, and not worry about the others. And it's like, bruh. And then people started pointing out, like, thanks, fam. People started pointing out, like, I can help you. It was MC Breed, thanks. I can help you, but that don't mean you're gonna help yourself. And now, and that's how, even to now, I saw a thing with Juvenile. He was like, that's the rules. And the rules started changing over the years. Well, I'm not gonna help a person who's not gonna help themselves. And because we as Black people have been helping people for so long that we've been bad at it. We've been helping the wrong people. Like part of Black America not being as united as we would say we should be, is because Black America had been helping the wrong Black Americans. We haven't been. We had a bad reputation within our group of, I'm gonna help this person who's quote unquote going through it, who has a trauma going on, who got issues, who got problems. And the issue with that was, there were people who were doing the right things, who had issues and who had problems and who had traumas and who was going through stuff, but they was actually doing the right thing. So we overlook them people for people, if I'm there for them, if I help them out, if I give them this and I do this for them and I do that for them, they gonna get it together. And what happened was we just invested in a bunch of people who never wanted to get it together. They just got enabled. You know what I'm saying? So now what you're seeing is people, nobody gets on the same page. All Black folks are never gonna get on the same. There is no group on the planet that's all on the same page. None. I can say this: your whole family ain't on the same page. So don't expect all of a Black America to be on the same page. Everybody in this chat, I guarantee all of their families aren't on the same page. It's not gonna happen. And that's part of us as a group. They tell you to work with like-minded people. Every group everybody's not on the same page. The same dysfunction that we have, everybody else has. We're no different from everybody else. That's all. We're no different than anybody else. It's no way. So at some point, what happens is people started realizing, okay, I can work with these people, I can't work with those people. That's where we're at. That's where we became at this particular point. Let me back up. Shout out to O'Shea, man. I ain't talked to him in a while. So if you listening, you might be asleep. But if he listening, man, always got love and respect, bro. I'm gonna get with you. I'm gonna holler at you. But me and him had this conversation years and years and years ago, and we were talking, and he was like, what is it, Return of Kings or something like that. And he was talking about Return of Kings, and he had the Negro Manosphere at the time. And we were talking, and he was like, man, he wanted something like that. And I was like, and basically what I said was, hey man, listen, you don't have to have what they have. You got your own stuff, and just have your own stuff. And in some ways that stuck with him. Well, it did stick with him. And him, shout out to Obsidian, shout out to BGS, shout out to Angry Man. They were at the forefront of all this stuff in some way or another. In the Black Manosphere, the Black Manosphere, I would say with them four people, predominantly, right? You got Minister Jap, I ain't trying to leave him out. Solo, but I'm just using those four people predominantly because they have like a tree of people that came after them, right? This space, we created something that didn't exist. And it didn't exist. And what the Black Manosphere and the people who were like the pillars of the Black Manosphere created, when you look on YouTube right now, especially just Black YouTube, and all of these people who wind up having careers now on YouTube and making money, a lot of what you see is a lot of people making a living because of the Black Manosphere. It didn't exist. It's to the point where you got celebrities and ex-athletes, now they got podcasts. And really some of the topics and the way they approach these topics are really in some ways an extension of the what the Black Manosphere was doing. So and part of that brainwashing is we started saying unpopular things. They weren't lies, they were just unpopular. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes it was fun, sometimes it was contentious, but you started seeing that. ARC. Shout out, yeah, rest in peace to ARC. But a lot of this, it came with the unbrainwashing. A lot of the Black manosphere is in history, if it's not overlooked, will be in the mix of unbrainwashing Black America, because the political conversation, the relationship conversation, the religious conversation, the historical conversation, the sellout conversation, the Hotep conversation, it was all mixed in. It was all mixed in. The selfishness conversation, the selflessness conversation, the Pan-African conversation. It was all mixed in. And people started to think. I remember we had a conversation about, I think Obama might have been out of office, or he might have been in. I think he was out of the office by then, though, because the what about Chicago thing in the Chicago, it still goes on to this day. And I never forget, we had a panel, and there was his brother on the panel, and he was like, in Chicago. And I remember I had to talk to him, because I was like, yo, Chicago isn't even in the top 25 of violent cities, man. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, they say Chicago all the time. And I was like, look it up. You can Google it. You can look at the news stories. Chicago isn't in the top 25 of violent cities in America. And then we looked it up as it was going on, and went down a whole list. And he's like, why didn't they ever say anything like this? It's like, because you don't take in information. You don't take in information well. And it wasn't a you thing per se, but this is what's done in America. Like, we don't take in information well. We're in the age of information, but we actually don't research information. And it's easier to research nowadays than ever. So now you gotta do it on the spot with people. You gotta show people on the spot, yeah, you brainwashed, dog. You believe this when it's this. That's why even when Kevin was talking and he brought out the CDC statistics, people started going, oh, I didn't know. You had people like, and shout out to Sergeant Willie P, SWP. He believed a lot of the stereotypes about Black men until they started bringing out the statistics. He's like, damn, I've been wrong all this time. Because a lot of times people aren't really living in that. People aren't really living in that. They just ride with the stereotype. You just ride. We just ride along, and now you're starting to see people push back. I saw clips with I saw a clip I listened to it. I wasn't. Anton was talking to a guy. I know he's on social media. I don't know his name though. He was talking about his daughter, like he's teaching his daughter to not go 50-50 with a man. And it's like, bruh, who told you? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you telling your daughter as a child not to go 50-50 when she's a grown adult with a grown man. And it's like, yo, you should be teaching your daughter how to actually be a helpmate to this type of man you want her to be with. Not I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, I deserve a man who's making blah 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 blah. So okay, that's what your daddy taught you? Yeah. So did your daddy teach you what to do with a guy like me? No, he just said that's what I was supposed to get. That's stupid. Man, people forget about that stuff, man. Yeah, David, like, people forget about this stuff. So now, like, we're at this point in life, man, where I'm looking at it just from a, what do you call that? Just an observation. And I'm seeing like I'm glad that you're starting to see Black America get unbrainwashed. And even when you see people fighting to stay brainwashed, it starts to look a little different. Like it made people were brainwashed back in the day, and it was like, like what was one of the most recent things? Hip hop wise, when they had D1, who's from New Orleans, had that conversation with Turk, who's from New Orleans. And and D1 talked about, when he talked about Rick Ross and Meek Mill and all them other people, like, you need to speak positivity, brother. And Jim Jones, I think it's Jim Jones, you know, about how, people tired of hearing that people tired of that image and that type of music and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was upset. And then I saw a clip not too long ago. I listened to a clip, and Charlemagne the God, old flip flop himself. But you know what? He's a part of this unbrainwashing of Black America, because you kind of see his flip flops and how he's one way now, and then 6 months later, he publicly got to say the other thing. You get what I'm saying? But he said something to the fact, he's like, I think D1 was right, man. We talking about this young, the trial with young Dolph murderer and murderers or whatever. And who was that? And Yo Gotti's family and all the other stuff. He started saying like, man, we promoted all of this stuff, but now it don't seem that it's not cool. It's like, yeah, it's not, it's been not cool. Like, what are you talking about? But you start to see that, even when he had Joe Biden on, and Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. And it's like, it's like, yeah, you let yourself get put in that mix. You let yourself get put in that mix where you was disrespectful and passive aggressive to everybody, and now this old white dude comes on the show and tell you ain't Black. And well, it says it to all of Black America actually on your platform, and you just sitting there like, okay. And now it's years later, I gotta ask questions. You should have been asking questions. What are you talking about? And I would say that's another part of this, like, you're starting to see the reactions, and I say, like, part of the whole Me Too movement, right? When the Me Too movement first came out, it was just all out assault on white guys. But then you saw Black people, especially on social media, especially online, especially Black YouTube, Black Manosphere included, was like, watch they turn this into an attack on Black men. And that's when you started seeing it. Damn near every Black male celebrity get a whiff of the Me Tooism, right? They took a shot at everybody, from the beginning to now. And this is part of the issue, even now with this whole thing with Diddy or whatever. It's the same playbook over and over and over again. And at some point, this part we don't, I've seen people talk about recently. It's like, listen, every time a Black person, really predominantly a Black man, gets rolled out to the media to be a villain, us as Black America, we like to kick them. We all like to turn on them and kick them while they down and be like, yeah, they always been a monster. And it's like, say, bruh, stop. They wasn't all, you don't even know if they're a monster now. Y'all just saying stuff now. You don't like them. And some people aren't likable. And some people did some shady stuff. I get it. But when everybody's the exact same monster, the exact same way, in Black America, you got too many Black Americans coming together like, yeah. And then you got too many, Black American pretenders like, yeah. You got too many non-Black people going, yeah. It doesn't dawn on y'all something's wrong. Something's wrong now. Like you got to get to the point where, okay, if you Black man and you rich, if you having sex with people, all of a sudden it makes you a criminal. And that should tell you something about America. If the best you got to destroy Black men now is you having sex, that's it. not you, not you committing crime. You know that you have not crime, not assault, not drug trafficking. You know, you get what I'm saying? Not fraud. Hey man, last time I heard, they was doing some serious fucking. Okay. Okay. What do you? Oh, what? So I'm supposed to hate him now for that? Like, what are we talking about here? You know, what are we talking about? Because I've seen this happen so many times, it becomes unbelievable. I don't even care. Like, I don't even have people's. I don't even care about a lot of these cases because it's like, bro, I don't. If you gonna tell me like they got head, or they was giving somebody head, or they ran a train on somebody, or somebody ran a train on them, I don't care. I don't care what goes on in your bedroom. You're a freak, whatever. Who cares? Because at the same time, at a certain point, you got to start asking real questions. Like, okay, so, so now people are trafficking people. Like when you got, and let me back up and just make this broad. When it's so prevalent that the way you destroy somebody is through media, you ain't got a case. I'm gonna just be honest. You ain't got a case. When the only way you could get somebody locked up is by plastering them on every media platform and social media platform with no real evidence, just a bunch of stories, and then when they get to court, all the jurors seen 11 videos. You know, why is he going to jail? Well, we got 25 videos of Jaguar Wright. Like, okay, we got 20 videos of Orlando Brown. Okay, bro, this is not good. You know, like at some point, when you look at Black America and you start seeing people go, oh, you know, this person in trouble, and guess who up next? Guess who gonna be next? I think they gonna get such and such next. And it's like, oh, okay. So y'all do realize this is a chain event where they're trying to get this person and then get this person and get this person. So if you figured that out, and the best they got on that person is this, the best they got on that person is that, the best they got on that person is that. So basically the best they got on everybody is fucking. That's the best they got. He was fucking. Yup, he was fucking. How dare he? He got on a private jet and he was fucking. He landed and he was fucking. And people knew he was fucking. People that was working for him knew he was fucking people. And guess what? They was fucking people too. Shut up. Like, God, I'm done. You know, I ain't got time for this. It's stupid. And even using that as a reference, right? You got to juxtapose it with this. So you hemming up all these black men predominantly for having sex, and the whole time, you know, from Superheads book Video Vixen to now. Matter of fact, from 2 Live Crew and all them dances to now, you've been having women just getting flued out and flying and fucking for the last 40-something years. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll just went to hip hop, and now it's a crime. I just don't understand it, and I don't care. But this is what I mean by, you know, unbrainwashing Black America, because when people start going, you start seeing people who got platforms who start saying stuff like, you know, technically, if I flew somebody out and took them shopping or took them on a date and had sex with them in the hotel, technically I'm trafficking if I do that. And that's what they got put in jail for. Yeah. And then it becomes a wait a minute, but I'm not a trafficker. Yeah, you're not. But this celebrity that it makes you money to plaster them all on TV, you know, is a trafficker. Like, it's when you gotta basically implement the Jack Johnson law now, and people don't realize that that's an issue. Because you can't have a how can I say this? The reason why is because a lot of these people are chasing, they're either trying to ruin people's business or they need to sue these people for something. And you really can't sue a person civilly just for nothing. So now you gotta drum up a crime on them first. And then you can say, oh, they've been arrested for this crime. Now I can sue them civilly. So you can't just use anybody as a reference. Like, you know, think about it. All these people that Bill Cosby had this same thing. R. Kelly had this same thing. Cuba Gooding Jr. had that same thing. Nelly had that same thing. Chris Brown had that same thing. Trey Songz had that same thing. Shoot, it's all good, fam. What happens is they get a guy's rich, and then they go, listen, this woman slept with this guy years ago. Okay. So now she says, oh my God. Oh my God, he blew my back out. He blew my back out. My back. It was wrong. And then she goes, okay, it was non-consensual 15 years ago when he blew my back out. So now, he had sex. Now it's a crime. And now she could say it's a crime, and people will go, oh my God, he blew her back out. And then they go, okay, he's such a monster. And we need to arrest him for the idea of possibly blowing this girl's back out. So now that she can have him arrested on that, because like they say, you can indict a ham sandwich. Now that you get indicted and somebody can process you and bring you to jail for an allegation, now you can sue him civilly. Because you can't just call a court and say, hey, Your Honor, 15 years ago, DMX blew my back out. And since he's dead, I'm suing his estate for $10 million because he barked in my ear while he was banging me, and I can't hear in my left ear now. Can't say that shit because people gonna throw that out. But you gotta say, we were drinking Hennessy and he took it, and now that he's dead, you can't prove it. You get what I'm saying? That's how this stuff is going on, and people are starting to wise up to it. They're starting to wise up to the, like, okay, man, this is getting old, dog. This is getting old. Like, I'm not finna hear that now. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So so now you got people that's just gonna sue you. You got people that come up with a frivolous lawsuit. We got 300 people that says, we got 300 people that said they did something. Let me tell you what that really is. There's 4 people that might have a legitimate claim, and the rest of those people say, like, I'm gonna just put my name on this lawsuit and hopefully he settled with everybody and I can get a check. That's all that is. That's like, if you saw Mike Tyson, and I'm using Mike Tyson as a reference because he's a fighter, most famous fighter in the world. You see Mike Tyson just at a sports ball and somebody is fucking with him, right? And they keep fucking with him. He like, get away from me. Matter of fact, remember they had a video of Mike Tyson when he had to slap up the dude on the plane that was messing with him. And everybody remember, like people who remember that the dude was getting in his space, messing with him, and Mike Tyson snapped. He started smacking that dude up. So basically, what that's like is, if I was on that same plane, the guy that got smacked up was gonna sue Mike Tyson for assault, even though he started it with Mike Tyson, right? So he'll sue Mike Tyson for assault, and then everybody else on the plane will go, "Oh, I was traumatized by the sound of the smacks upside that guy's head. I felt accosted. I was in fear for my life." So it'd be somebody sitting on a toilet in the plane, didn't even know what was going on, heard the commotion, and came out, like, oh, I couldn't pee all the way because of Mike Tyson's assault. It's that kind of stuff. Everybody just jumping on the bandwagon. So when that'll be like the pilot suing too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sign on to have this happen on my plane. I can't fly now. I'm just so shocked. It's white people 101. That's how white people sue people. That's white people 101. Same way, people make fun of black folks, like you get in a car accident and somebody that you don't know hop in the passenger side, and then they act like they've been in an accident too. We gonna get a check now. Like, Nick, what? Fool, you know what I'm saying? I got a broken arm. What is you talking about? So it sucks. So now we got that whole issue because it happens over and over and over again. So, now we playing this game, the quote unquote unbrainwashing. Now, this gonna be terrible. I got to talk about this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. One of the other things that's going on, just from what I see, is it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but I just don't want to talk about it. You're starting to see how crazy some people are, and you're starting to see how mentally weak some people are, and you're starting to see that, and it's starting to make, it's starting to give Black America we're starting to really have to deal with that concept. And what I mean by that is, social media at this particular point, everybody has a microphone, everybody has a camera. And what you're starting to see now is how many people have been lying and playing the victim. And it deals with people's mentality, because now people can see how they got lied to and played by other people. Because now you see people, they get on social media, they have a whole story, a whole spiel, they post something, and everybody might feel sorry for them, right? And then you follow this person 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, and at some point it clicks to you that, oh, they the problem, because this stuff keeps happening with them over and over and over and over and over again. And then you got to start unpacking your brain. Like, why was I so into this person? Why was I so believing of this person? And if I believe them this long, and they've been doing this long, and now I wake up to see that they're the problem, how long was I the problem in my life? Because people they gravitate to what they really like. Like, let me go a little off topic. It's on topic, but it's off. And I used to, because me and a lot of guys that's on YouTube, we talk behind the scenes. I kind of slowed down recently, but really I'm doing too much over here, so I got to get all this stuff done, and I can holler at people on a regular basis. But I used to have these conversations with certain people who were crazy to me online. They look crazy to me, but I didn't have a problem with them being crazy, because it's America. You got freedom of speech. What I used to like about them being crazy was, it wasn't them that was the issue. I used to look at everybody that was subscribed to them in their comment section, and it's like, y'all are crazy as hell too. Y'all really agree with this. Y'all crazy as hell too. So when you start, and social media helps, when you start seeing people who are big not big advocates of certain people. Like, you know, let's just say, let me use Fresh and Fit for an example. For all you people who was really down with Fresh and Fit like that all these years, and now y'all like, man, you know, what was it, Myron crazy, or Myron this and Myron that. I'm like, hey, bro, no. If Myron crazy to you now, and you've been a fan of his for 4-5 years, and you've been all in with the craziness for 4-5 years, you got to ask yourself a question: how crazy have you been? How crazy are you? You know, how crazy are you? Because you believed all these talking points and are reeling it in for this aspect, because a lot of people have been playing this talking point game so long that you start seeing people's arrogance mixed with their stupidity. You get what I'm saying? So I'm starting to see people unbrainwash themselves because, you know, even using Kevin as a reference, I'm a high value man, and when I started seeing men say this shit, you know, I'm a high value man, or I'm an alpha man, or I'm a masculine man, or you hear the women, I'm a feminine woman, and I'm a traditional woman, and I'm a blah blah blah, and it's like, shut your ass up. You just saying this shit. Everybody can see you ain't no parts of what you say you are. But you know what? But I'm gonna speak it into existence. No, you just lying. But you gotta take that. You can't just take it with a grain of salt now, because people are just, you know, they really want to believe their own bullshit. So over time, you're watching people get crazier and crazier and crazier. You know, and then at some point you go, oh damn. Is that how I was? Like one of the brothers, one of who is it? Blackheart. He said this part. You know, social media diminished our social skills. You saw too many people, you know, believing themselves to be a goddamn anime character. you know, you built like Peter Griffin, but you walking around. I have the swagger and the power of Baki Hanma. It's like, bro, shut your fat ass up. What's wrong with you? But I speak it, so that's how I am. That's how I feel. Nobody gives a shit how you feel. Shut up. Just shut up. You know, it became a problem. You know, and now you're seeing people have to unpack that. They got to unpack it, and it's like, yo, is this why, you know, people looking at me like I'm crazy? Yes, because you've been on this shit for the last 4-5 years. Talking about everybody else is the problem. No, you a problem. You crazy as hell. You know what happened. And then, you know, and I gotta go here. We gotta, you know, you seeing people starting to unbrainwash themselves about, you know, a lot of people are just mentally weak. And we see what we've done is we've hid being mentally weak behind trauma and anxiety. When I was a child, I went through a lot of trauma, and I'm going, and I have these issues, and I just can't, you know, this is why I'm the way I am right now. And then you start listening to these people, and you start look like, what? I got teased as a kid, so my trauma. What? Motherfucker, you 35 years old. What you talking about? You got teased as a kid? Say, man, if you don't shut your bitch ass up. See, this is why I act the way I act now with people. Oh, okay. I was abused as a kid. I have trauma. And then you start listening to them. Oh, you was a badass kid, and you got your ass whooped because you was a badass kid. And now you telling the world that was trauma. Oh, okay. All right. You know, you just mentally weak. You just mentally weak. That's what's going on now. You know, a lot, people don't want to call a spade a spade. You know, and now you're starting to see people call shit out, because now it's becoming aggravating, because like these people are like, I hate to say it, but they remind me of girls who lie about getting assaulted. Y'all make it hard for the women who actually got assaulted. So now you got all these people who talking about they went through all this trauma and now they're, actually just taking a dump on all the people who actually went through trauma. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden, because you fell off your bike at 8 years old, you're on the same level as somebody who actually got molested for years. Like that's not no. No, you fell off a bike. If that's the best you got, you need to sit your ass down. You get what I'm saying? You was a kid that was a liar and people got tired of you lying, so they smacked you in your face. And now you got trauma because I was abused. No, you wasn't. You got smacked in the face because you was a liar. You're not on the same level as a kid who just got beat. Period. They just got beat. They didn't do anything wrong. They just got beat. So now we're having this issue. It's the same thing I see with these guys who play these the men and the women who play these hood thug stories. But I was locked up and I was in jail, you know what I'm saying? I was doing this and I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? And it made me this way. No. You was a kid who came from a good family and you wanted to be a thug. You got yourself locked up. Fuck what you talking about. You act like you a damn political prisoner out here. See what happened was, I wanted some sneakers and my parents wouldn't buy them, so I decided to get into the drug game. That's your reasoning? That's not a good reason, man. That's really not a good reason. You threw your life away basically because you wanted some sneakers as a kid and you didn't get them, so you decided to be a criminal. That's not trauma, bro. That's stupidity. You ain't the only kid that didn't get the sneakers that they wanted. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? It is, you get the girls out here. Oh, I was out here, I'm out here trying to act like a prostitute and these people treated me like a hoe. I got trauma. No. You wanted to be a hoe and you got treated like a hoe and you didn't like it. You thought it was going to be fun and now you got your feelings hurt. That's not trauma. Deal with it. So you see, now you're seeing people are getting upset with people because like, man, you're not really, my bad. You're not really looking out for your own people. Your people are going through trauma. No, they're not. I'm not finna play this game with you. You just weak-minded. You see, because people are basically, and this is where some people have figured it out now, especially because of social media. There have been a lot of people on social media who basically became rich selling their trauma story, and people bought into it and they made these people big in one way or another, right? And then years went by and then people started going, you know what? I don't know, like I said earlier, we support, sometimes the black people, we just support the wrong people. Like, I'm not finna support you for that. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I decided, I didn't want to go to school as a kid. What is that dumbass song? I was banned in fucking school, now I'm trying to dodge a sentence. Hey man, if you was bad in school and now you trying to dodge a sentence, I'm not finna look out for you as an adult. You can kiss my ass. I was going through some things. No, you wasn't. You wasn't going through nothing. See, going through stuff like good things happen to bad people, folks. But when you a bad person, doing bad stuff, like y'all, a lot of these people are That kid they made the Boondock skit about. I just wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends, and after I did the hood rat stuff, now I got trauma. Man, shut your ass up. Just shut the hell up. Trying to hear that dumb shit. That's where it's at. You get what I'm saying? Like that's where it's at. So for me, I'm like, I can't pay attention to that because a lot of people just become mentally weak. And it could be me as a person, or it could be my era, a generation, because I don't see the same amount of actual dysfunction in the Black community that existed. I don't see the same amount of violence that I once saw. I don't see the same amount of oppression in a sense, as far as how can I say this? I don't see the same amount of American adverse reactions just to you being Black as I used to see. And I don't see the same amount of dysfunction within the Black community that I used to see. So now I'm just looking at people just act like life is just beating them up. And it's like, bro, life is not beating you up. Nothing happened to you. Like nowadays, your goldfish died, and now you got mental problems. I ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Your dog died when you was 20. Now you got mental problems. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm just not. It just can't do it. Your parents cussed you out, and now you just can't go on with your life. No, shut your ass. Just go on somewhere. Go sit your ass down. Because you see because that's part of the entitlement. And that's what I meant by like sometimes Black America turn into white folks. There ain't no segregated environments in America no more. You said they overcorrecting for the 80s. The problem is some of these people they weren't even in the 80s and 90s. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about, like, there's people, well, some of these people were born in the 90s, having trauma for shit that happened in the 80s that didn't even affect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we got to cut it out. Now it's just, when I started seeing, I'm gonna tell you what I mean by mentally weak. When I started seeing videos of soldiers getting cussed out in the military, and they don't know why, and they just talking back like little bratty ass kids, and they, like, bro, you in uniform, your superior officer is cussing you out because you don't want to do something in the military. I don't feel like doing it. Oh, sir, I'm not going to do that, sir. Why are you cursing at me, sir? I have feelings. It's like, bro, you in the fucking army. Shut your dumb ass up and just do it. Because we're at that point. You're playing sports and the coach cuss you out because, you're not paying attention. I can't believe it. I can't be talked to like this. Like, what the hell? Get your ass off the field or get your ass out the game. But I want to stay in the game, but you can't talk to me like that. Shut up. Now you got kids the same way. I want to be a bad kid, but I got cussed out by my parents, and oh my God, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a human being. You also stupid as a motherfucker. If somebody got to tell you to take out the trash for 4 hours straight, and then they cuss you out, you're stupid. Because that act is going to take you 2 minutes tops. You're stupid. That's what they cussed you out for being stupid and disrespectful. Because that don't take all day. You got grown people who can't even fucking. I don't want to wash the dishes. I don't want to wash the dishes. Motherfucker, just put them in a dishwasher and put some dishwashing liquid in it and hit power. What the fuck is your problem? But I'm about to boy. What I'm about to say gonna be disrespectful. It's about to be disrespectful. You know, so that's what I mean by the unbrain. Like you're starting to me, all it looks like is people are starting to get back to old school mentality because like when one of y'all said it was overcorrecting the 80s and 90s, what you're starting to see was all this idea of soft parenting and super expression and being in your feelings. Now people are seeing why people were so hardcore back in the day because all that over expressive bullshit, it don't get nothing done. Ain't nothing. Let me tell y'all, like you're starting to see, even with this whole political climate and the Black America climate, you're starting to see people. We're starting to see people on social media and media who are speaking for Black America, and you looking at them like, bruh, don't nobody. What are you talking about? Like Michael Eric Dyson can't talk for Black America. He can't. Just like Charleston White can't talk for Black America. You get what I'm saying? You can't. No, no. You need people who are Black people, who are middle of the road type people. Y'all be having these extreme people, Angela Rye talking for Black America. No, hell no. Some what's old boy to be crying all the time? Van Jones talking for Black America. Man, get your soft. No. Like Black America's tired of that. Like, hey man, we need middle of the road people with common sense. We can't have all y'all extremists out here who going from one end to the other. Candace Owens can't talk for Black America. Nah, sorry. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's a compromise thing. And even I'll say this, like one of our biggest issues, and I don't even mean it in a disrespectful way. The whole presidential thing, I don't care about. I don't care about Kamala or Donald Trump. I think they're both idiots. Really, what I think about the political aspect, I think both of them trying to lose. I think both of them trying to lose because they both know if they get in office, the country, they're going to get blamed for all this shit that's about to happen because nobody ever has had a political agenda to fix the economy. So it's about to it's going to start it's a crapshoot on who it falls apart on. This next president, it might not fall apart all the way, but it's going to fall apart. But the one after that, they might not make it. So it's like, yeah, I want to win, but I really don't. You get what I'm saying? I think they playing that game. But the interesting thing is with Black America is like we're at that point where if Kamala Harris was a Black man, they'd have been left alone. Because you can't be a Black man, half Indian, half Jamaican, Black man who had a history of being kind of suspect with Black America. But there've been plenty Black politicians suspect with Black America. But who got a white wife and that white wife got all white kids from their previous husband. It would no. That's even the same thing with the Supreme Court justice. It wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fly. And it's coming to a point where even Black women are starting to have to go, damn dog, like our hypocrisy is really hitting sky high. Like because the next thing we're gonna get a Black man who got a white wife with all white kids, and he ain't never had no kids of his own, and the Black women, he don't like a Black woman. They be like, shit, well, Kamala Harris didn't like Black men. What's your point? Yeah, you can't say much. So we're at that point where people are starting to call out the hypocrisy of this stuff. Because I'm gonna say this other part. And I think this is probably one of the most important things I might say about this shit now. Honestly, when I think about it, one of the biggest thing I see with the unbrainwashing of Black America is um we're accepting, like we're not deifying other groups anymore. We're not saying, oh, white folks are just so great like we used to. We like, man, these motherfuckers stupid. Y'all done had slavery, y'all done had Jim Crow, y'all done had the political system for all these years. Y'all had the bulk of the money, the bulk of the businesses. Y'all stole the bulk of the inventions, and you niggas is broke. Y'all retarded. Y'all fucking retarded. There's no way around it. Y'all retarded. Like white America, like we're starting to look objectively and common sense at white America. Like, yeah, y'all really ain't that bright, bro. Y'all had all these years and all these advantages, and y'all just fucked that up, and y'all can't even explain why. Y'all are idiots. Y'all are idiots. You know, and then then we go to these other groups. All these other groups doing better. We doing better than you black folks, and it's like what? That's the whole. Um, when because I like to tell people who are non-black, like, I know y'all think y'all have an idea and a stereotype that we're stupid and we don't know what's going on. And I get it, because in different generations it looks like that. But the reality is this: we know exactly what y'all on. We just leave y'all alone. But now we're getting to the point where we calling people out. Like, Hispanic America. A lot of times, Hispanic America, it depends on what region of the country you in. We really don't really beef with, Hispanic America like that, unless you like in California or some shit like that, you know. But when Hispanic America like tries to hit at us, we like, hey, bro, listen, we don't say shit about y'all cartels. We don't say shit about y'all stealing all this shit. We don't say shit about y'all illegal working. We don't say shit about y'all tendency to mess with underage girls. We don't say nothing about that. We don't say shit about y'all alcoholism and drug use. We don't. We don't. So you might want to leave us the hell alone. You get what I'm saying? We don't. We don't say shit about that. We leave y'all craziness to y'allself. But we're starting to just like let people know it is what it is. When they had the Asian thing, like with a model minority, blah blah blah, people are smarter. We like, listen, y'all just a buffer class, dog. That's all y'all are. Y'all a buffer class. Y'all, you know it, I know it. You're not as smart as you think. And if you was this smart, how come you can't get in these top positions in tech? Did it ever dawn on you that a lot of y'all can't get up the, y'all can't crack the ceiling in tech like that, even though all of y'all go to school for tech? So, this idea that all y'all smart, we know y'all cheat. We know about y'all criminal class. We know about y'all pimping. In these massage parlors. We know all of. You know what I'm saying? We know about y'all being unsanitary. We know all this stuff. We're not playing these games with y'all. We're not playing this game. What's up, Sharp? But we leave y'all alone. Even the Ivy League shit, we knew that was stupid in the first place. Who the hell? First of all, it's just let me say something. Even with that, it's retarded for everybody to try to go to Harvard. It's retarded. If I don't care how smart you are, I don't care if that's every smart person's goal. Everybody shouldn't be applying to Harvard. Don't make no damn sense. And the reason why I say shouldn't everybody be applying to Harvard is because if you really want to be honest, even with these Ivy League schools, the vast majority of the Ivy League school people, what are they fucking doing? If they're the smartest people in America, how is that helping America right now? How? How is all these intelligent people and all these intelligent folks? How does it help America? It don't. It don't make no damn sense. But the issue is we know how people get down. The same thing. With the Muslim population, just the religious population at all. We're Muslims and we follow all of these laws and we do all of these things and we're good people and you Americans and you Christians, like, bro, you do realize just like Christians are hypocritical, you Muslims are hypocritical. Y'all act like we don't know y'all got drug problems. Y'all act like we don't know y'all got prostitution problems. You act like y'all don't dabble in homosexuality. You act like we don't know this stuff. You act like we don't know y'all got caste systems and y'all use religion to keep people poor. You care about your fellow Muslim brothers, but if they're a different color, you don't care. You care about your fellow Muslim brothers, but if they're not in your class, you don't care like that. Come on now. Allah. Y'all don't care about Allah like that. It's bullshit. It becomes a bigger and bigger problem because you start to see black folks like, hey man, y'all better chill out. Y'all better chill out because like you using the Muslims as an example, and I don't go to the Middle East or whatever, but you can't tell me, the Middle East is great. Dubai is basically a playground for all adults that has rules. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you could come here and spend all your money and live the high life and watch all these other people in poverty if you're rich enough. But it's clean, it's nice, it's a bunch of rich people there, but don't act like they ain't working people to death. They got people coming from Africa, Asia, working themselves to death, and even in other parts of the Middle East, working themselves to death, and people don't give a damn. The Philippines, people don't care. They don't care. So to me, that's the issue. That's part of, like I said, unbrainwashing Black America. We're getting to the point where we don't care no more. We're not trying to be. Excuse me. We're not trying to be not necessarily friendly, but we're not trying to be dishonest with ourselves to make you feel better. We're tired of that. We're tired of that. I know, bro. I know. I had to eat some bread, man. I ain't feeling good. My bad. And then, and I say this, and one of the other things is we're starting to be honest about American history and our history. And that's starting to, because, and it's weird to say this, but it's true. There's so many Black folks in America who really don't know Black history. And there's so many Black folks in Black America that know Black history, and they tell you the shit out of context because they're trying to get over on you. You get what I'm saying? And so when you see people, when you see people talking about Black people in America, you can't really tell these people who's telling the truth or not, because you're not looking at the reality. You hear people talking about Black people were this, and how can I say this? Black people don't have an economic foothold in America. Like, do you know why? You act like Black people never had an economic foothold in America. Oh, it's just because you guys aren't this and that. It's like, stop, bro. Just stop. Just fucking stop. You don't know anything that happened in Jim Crow, do you? You don't know anything that happened in the 80s, do you? You know what I'm saying? But like people play this game, like you talking about the patent fiasco. It's like, oh, okay. You hear people on social media. well, black folks, you know, what have black folks done for America? It's like, bro, I know you're not asking that dumbass question because you know what we did for America. It's not the slave work ethic that died, because black people still work hard as hell. What you know, what happened is over the years it's got harder and harder to steal credit for somebody else's work. That's what happened. You know, you're seeing less innovation, but you're seeing less and less ability to steal people's work. And that's why people are having an issue now, because they go, oh, well, you know, what has Black America contributed to the world? You can't ask that question of everybody else. That's a question you can't ask of everybody else. You know, if you ask what the Japanese contributed, you're going to say cars, TVs. If you ask what Africa has contributed to the world, you're going to say Africa's resources, basically. If you're going to ask what Europe contributed to the world, basically just fucking up people's lives, honestly. You know, white supremacy is what, you know, Europe and America has contributed into the world. That's basically it. What has China created into the world? You could basically say manufacturing at this particular point, you know. But now what you see is people are having it, you know, they're having to prop up people, but they can't really prop them up because people actually know the reality. Now it's difficult. Like, I'm a back up when I say this. What you have now is Black America realizing, you know, how dastardly the world can be when it comes to money. And when I say how dastardly the world can be when it comes to money, people don't put two and two together. So let me get this right. In the last 15, 20 years, how many Black people have had an issue with America because of money? Think about it. Seriously, think about it. You know, true be told, in my opinion, Diddy's in jail right now because of money. That's my opinion. R. Kelly was in jail because, you know, people don't realize it, but R. Kelly was in the music business for 30-something years. He about to get his fucking masters back. Do you know how much money his masters are actually worth? So we got to discredit this fool because he ain't selling them. That's just my personal opinion. It's money. Kanye, you know, oh, Kanye was a billionaire and then he went crazy. Yeah, okay. But they tried to steal the shoes from him, right? But they couldn't sell them without him. So, you know, they used him, quote unquote, being crazy to steal his creation, and it didn't work. Money. Robert Smith decided to pay for a bunch of Black men's college tuition to get them in the economy, you know, without debt. And all of a sudden, the IRS was on his ass. Money. You know what I'm saying? Just money. Yeah, you got to think about it. Every situation that people came up with, in my opinion, over the last 15 years, it was money based. It was all about money. Everybody got a target on their back once they got money. In the community, outside the community, you know, and I can tell you how far back this goes. And I say this, when I was a kid, that's when I saw the change in news reporting. Because when at first news reporting was like, this person signed on to make a movie. This person signed to play with a team. This person, you know, has is coming to town to do a show. But what started happening over the years was I started seeing more and more black people, you know, in the media and they used to plaster out how much money they made. Such and such just signed. You got to remember, it started really with Magic Johnson. He signed $1 million contract. Ain't none of your goddamn business how much money he made back in the day. They didn't say how much Larry Bird's contract was worth. They said how much Magic's was. You get what I'm saying? And then it went further and further and further. Then people started doing endorsements. Then people started, because some of y'all don't remember this, because if you're old enough, you'll remember this. When Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog, Michael Jackson, another person, they was trying to get money out of him because he wound up owning half of Sony. So that was their issue with Michael. You get what I'm saying? But prior to that, when Michael Jackson was doing a video with Paul McCartney, The Girl Is Mine, he bought the Beatles catalog. You know what I'm saying? And when people found like he can afford to buy the Beatles catalog, it really started going down. He was like, that nigga got that much money? Shit. So then people started going, he sold this many albums, and people started counting people's money. People forget about that. Prince too. They started counting people's money. And they started discrediting people. And they started discrediting people just to make sure that they didn't become successful. And some of y'all don't even like old history. I'm from Chicago. Well, I was born in New Orleans, so so I'm a bit of both. You get what I'm saying? I lived in both. But I remember when Walter Payton, after Walter Payton retired, he got cancer. He was getting sick, and people was talking about Walter Payton. They were saying Walter Payton had AIDS because he was getting sicker and sicker. But I think he had cancer. But before he died, he was actually trying to buy an NFL team. He was actually because they were doing the new team. So when y'all remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers, Walter Payton was in that thing to try to start a team and purchase a team. I think he was going for St. Louis at the time, because I don't think St. Louis had the Rams at the time. I think they were in L.A. at the time. So people were kind of discrediting him because he was sick at the same time he was trying to get the team. So at the same time he was trying to start the team, he was they kind of killed that. They talk crazy about him, because people forget that. And I think if he wound up getting in Formula One or something at the time near the end, by the time he died. But people forget a lot of that was money, because even people who were classy and respected, they tried to throw him under the bus. People forget about stuff like that, but a lot of people are starting to take a step back and look at what's going on and what's went on in society, and they started to realize, this is a money grab. Either they don't want these brothers making money, or they don't, how can I put that? Either they don't want us making money, or they don't want us to evolve outside of their threshold. Like, I could fast forward. That's what happened to Dave Chappelle. It's the same exact thing. Dave Chappelle had a deal with Comedy Central. Comedy Central was just a network that really didn't get no attention like that. There was a network out there. It was a network. People watched it, not really. And then the Chappelle Show came, and it blew the fuck up. It really blew up. But then at the same time, they was underpaying Dave Chappelle. But what if I'm not mistaken, Dave Chappelle's deal was he got to get more of the DVD sales. And when the DVD came out, it was the highest selling DVD of all time, basically. And then they reneged on the contract. And when they reneged on the contract, then they tried to give him another upfront deal. Like, yo, we give you 40, 50 million. And they say he walked away. It's like, bro, you already owe that man 40, 50 million. What the fuck is you talking about? But, kind of like with Cat Williams, is like, by the time you get on your plane, you're going to be crazy. And it's true. Like, by the time Dave Chappelle got on a flight to Africa, he was a crackhead. That was crazy as hell. But people went through it. My bad. I'm eating more bread. It was money related. People seem to forget that. And that became an issue. Like, ow, my bad. A lot of this stuff became an issue financially. A lot of people forget. Like, it's certain things that share that bread, man. It's flat bread, man. It's flat bread. A lot a lot of people forget it, but what happened is, I remember when they had Allen Iverson. A lot of y'all, like everybody who's an Allen Iverson fan, and people, Allen Iverson, as far as culture goes, you know, I would say Magic Johnson and Larry Bird is the beginning of the NBA, as you know it, right? And then Michael Jordan took it to another level. And then after Mike, Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson entered the whole new stratosphere of people into the NBA. And then you got, Kobe and now LeBron. But I never forget they had Allen Iverson on the front page, and they priced out everything he had on. His watch cost this, and his chain cost this, and you know what I'm saying, he's making this amount a year, and it's like his car is worth this amount of money. It's like, yo, bro, what the fuck is you doing? And a lot of y'all don't even remember, the video games we used to play. The video games used to say some, when everybody who played Madden, they remember when they got the franchise mode and they just started having everybody's pay. Everybody had how much everybody was making. But every now and then you'll get certain players on Madden, they just say undisclosed. Undisclosed. But for the most part, well, for the most part, it was undisclosed. I mean, not for the most part. With all the black players, he making this amount a year. He making $8 million. He making $5 million. Like, you had that over and over and over again, and it became a money issue. That's why to this day, when you look at ESPN, you notice how ESPN don't fucking talk about baseball and hockey like that. It's other sports in America. They predominantly talking about what? They don't talk about golf like that. They don't talk about NASCAR like that. They don't talk about Formula One like that. They don't talk about MMA like that. They don't talk about boxing like that. They don't talk about tennis like that. It's predominantly football and basketball, and everything football players and basketball players going through. That should let you know something. I know it's football season right now for sure, but you notice, when it's golf season, when it's really baseball season, it's baseball season coming to an end. You would expect them to be talking about baseball in the World Series more, but they don't. Why? Because it's predominantly white. When it's hockey season, you ain't heard a day. You don't hear shit. I stopped hearing about hockey by the time, I would say, when Mario Lemieux retired. That was it. Hockey got put on the back burner. Baseball got put on the back burner ever since Barry Bonds broke the home run record. They don't even want to hear that shit no more. We don't want to talk about baseball no more. So, and that's just the entertainment side of it. But it's like, come on, man. This is where we at. And you're starting to see us Black America have an issue. Same thing. How can I say this? That's the same thing with Shannon Sharp. I want y'all to think about this. Just using entertainment as a reference. And this is in Saturday Night Live been out since the 70s. And at this point, it's to me it's just a waste of time. It's a staple, but it's a waste of time. But in my opinion, it never had a bigger impact than In Living Color. And basically, In Living Color is just it's a skit show. It's a black version of Saturday Night Live. But the things In Living Color did last. The things In Living Color did last to this day, and the impact In Living Color make last until this day. And the things and the stars on In Living Color are the biggest star, are some of the biggest stars of all time. I know a sports agent for sure. I know. I literally know a sports agent. But it ain't. You got to think about it. It ain't just. Think about that. Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx are the two biggest. Jim Carrey and Jamie Foxx are the two biggest from that show. But Sean and Marlon, they had their franchises. Keenan has always been what he is. Damon has always been great. Honestly. And even when Saturday Night Live's biggest star is actually Eddie Murphy. It ain't fucking close. And people, they bring up the history of it, but the reason you got a halftime show is because of In Living Color. But I'm saying that for a reason. You put that with that, right? Now you fast forward all the way to now. You're seeing people like Shannon Sharp go from the NFL to basically a broadcaster on like NBC or whatever in Denver or whatever. And then he got on the show with Skip, and his star power went through the roof just for him being himself. And now he's on YouTube and he got a whole nother show. But people don't think about it like, oh, they got an issue with this shit. Because now he don't have to be. And so now you see all these sports reporters, all these people who work for ESPN and Fox News. Now they didn't, oh, you know what? I got to get a podcast. Damn. Make my own money on the side. Yeah, that's a good idea. You got to thank YouTube, but you know what I'm saying? But that's a good idea. So now people can say their own thing. Now people realize, like, I Am Athlete, Brandon Marshall ruined that. I'm just going to tell you that he ruined that. But but to the pivot, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Now you're starting to see this. Now you're starting to see it. From then to now. And the reason why I'm saying the things I'm saying right now is because when you put that in a regular sense, right? And what I mean by regular sense, people are starting to put two and two together. Like, let me get this right. So you got all of these businesses in America, right? Yakking in miles. You got all these businesses in America, and now you're starting to see, because of social media, how black men and some black women operate. Like they do multiple things. They go in multiple different directions. People are quote unquote working on generational wealth, right? And what you're starting to realize is, oh, Black America been knowing how to actually market themselves and how to capitalize on their opportunities. What happened is these other people can't grift off of it and steal it. So now you're seeing the issues. And what I mean is, you're really not seeing white America pivoting in multiple directions. You're not really seeing Asian America pivot like this. You're not seeing Hispanic America pivot like this. You're not seeing Arab and Muslim America pivot like this. Because I forgot the guy's name. I think he's a Middle Eastern Muslim guy, but he likes talking about the West and America. Damn, I got to get into this. I'm sorry, I got to get into this. One of the reasons why I'm saying, Black America is getting unbrainwashed is because you see so many non-Black Americans basically parrot what Black America says and does. It ain't just they dress like us and they listen to our music. No, 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 no. When you hear Black America talk about politics in America, you're hearing all people who are not Black Americans parrot the same things. When you hear Black America talking about white supremacy and its effects globally, you're hearing all these other groups parrot Black America. When you're hearing Black America talk about the military of America and the military complex, you're hearing people parrot that. For years, black people and Black men have been saying, hey man, the military just be going killing people for no damn reason. They be going places and just shooting up shit for no damn reason. They got these soldiers out here just being murderers for no reason. It don't even make no damn sense. And now, and you would hear people tell Black people, shut up, we being unpatriotic. And now what do you hear? You're hearing ex-soldiers themselves go, we should have never went to that country. We went over there and we were shooting up people and killing people. And now I see why them people don't like us, because we ain't even have no reason to be over there. I can't even say why I was there. Yeah, the bald head white dude. Yeah, he basically an Arab version of Malcolm X. Let me dress like Malcolm. I grew my beard out. I got the glasses. I'm gonna put my finger on by my forehead, and I'm gonna just say what Black America been saying for the last 50 years. It's like, bro, I don't hate it, but it's like, I guess the world need to hear from yourself. I see Black Africa doing that. Africa is Black. I see Africa doing that. Like, people are coming to the realization, okay. This is what's going on. Because Black folks in America warned Africans years ago on YouTube, like, hey man, y'all letting these European and these Asians come to Africa, they finna screw y'all over, man. I know you thinking they looking out for your best interest, but they finna screw y'all over, dog. And it's like, nah, you brothers don't know what you're talking about. And now they like, yeah, they trying to screw us over. Like, okay, well, told you so, but fine, you'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? When I talked earlier about the Asians, Asians, we don't want no affirmative action. Okay, you Black people we ain't getting no affirmative action like that. But if y'all want to ruin it. I guarantee it. You gonna pay for it, not us. And then it's like, oh, we can't get into Harvard. Who cares? You're on your own. You started to hear Hispanic America, like, damn, like America's not what it's cracked up to be. These people don't really like us like they say they do. Yeah, we tried to tell you. That. Y'all sound like us now, but but the issue is, 1 minute you agree with us, the next minute you agree with America and fuck them niggas. I'm better than them niggas. Okay, fine, whatever, brother. So now we're seeing it over and over again. All these people are coming to a realization, like, man, I'm sounding blacker and blacker. Hey, the minute we said hold your own nuts, you sure do sound like, now y'all starting to sound like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X now, and Fred Hampton, and this is unfair, and this is this is wrong, and this is discrimination. Oh, okay, all right, okay, yeah. I thought we was brainwashed. I thought we didn't know what we were talking about with American and imperialism and colonialism. I thought we didn't know what we were talking about. I thought we didn't know. But you see these people parroting it. It's like, okay, that's what we doing? Yeah, that's what we doing. And now, you hear it from white America. Oh, inflation and the cost of living and the school system is miseducating and society, is going in the wrong direction, and we need to turn to God and get away from materialism and capitalism and come together. And we like, man, shut your ass up. just shut up. Yeah, just shut up. Now getting an education is just a waste of time because, it doesn't pay like that. And now the job market is an issue. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. You know, now there's no disposable income. Interesting, ain't it? Interesting. Yeah, okay. America's become unaffordable. Oh, just now, huh? Just now. Oh, it just now became unaffordable. Okay. All right. So now you're hearing these people, parrot, that the American dream is dying. Dying? Bitch, what are you talking about? Dying? Yeah. No, no, Andrew Tate is just, I mean, I ain't got a problem with Andrew Tate. I really like Andrew Tate, even like Fresh and Feet, Sneeko. Like, what is it? Some Asian guys like the Vivek and the racist Hispanic guy, all them guys, they fighting for white America. White America, we're fighting for your rights, brother. It's like, bro, shut y'all ass up. Then people like that, they don't know what to do, man. You just brainwashed, and you think the world is gonna be upside down if it isn't quote unquote ran by whiteness, and it's not. The world is not gonna fall apart if it's not ran by white people. Actually, it's gonna be a definitely a period of I wouldn't say turmoil, but it's gonna be some changes that people are not gonna like. But it's not gonna. The problem is the white way of doing things is it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It worked so long, but it don't work no more because it's a dumb way of doing things. When you build a whole lifestyle, a whole economy, nations on the idea that I need to hoard all the resources for myself. And when I hoard all of these resources, I'm going to live good, but everybody going to work for me and they going to suffer. The shit ain't going to last, bro. Like, like America is basically a biblical story of Egypt. Moses' story of Egypt. Like, America treats the world like Pharaoh treated the Hebrews. It's like, come build my shit. Come build my shit and suffer. Build more of my shit and suffer. And Moses say, hey, man, God said he finna tear this shit down, man. He had enough of this. That's all. But in America, God is money. So, America's God is money. And we've said as black people for decades that, what's up, George? That America's a godless country. America do anything for money. And you gotta it's hard for people to accept that. They killed off the whole quote unquote Native American population because of money. And it's really not about money. Like I've said this before, money is just the excuse people have used to be evil. Like think about it. Like if you ran into a person and you killed them for a diamond, what does that tell you about yourself? But I'm gonna live good though. I got this diamond. Oh, so you killed a person for a rock. That's what you're telling me. You murdered a person for a rock. Yeah, because this rock can make me live a great life. Oh, okay. All right, man. Okay. So what happens if you need another rock? You think you just gonna people? You just think you just gonna go around killing people? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now people are doing it for money, which is paper, which the paper people don't use no more. It's just a debit card, basically. You destroying people to get higher numbers on your card. That's what that is. That's what with genocide in America was for. To say I got more money than somebody else. That's what slavery was for. To say I got more money than somebody else. That's what Jim Crow is for, to say I got more money than somebody else. That's what all these wars to get people's resources was for, to say at the end of the day, I'm going to have more money than you. Because I got wood floors and you don't. You get what I'm saying? Ooh, because I got a Rolex now. That's what it was for. People sold their soul, because I want to have some fly shit. It's like, bro, you could have had some fly shit without getting people killed. But I don't know how to do that. Yeah, you do know how to do that. You just don't want to. And that's what I'm saying, like unbrainwashing Black America. It's like, because Black America started realizing stuff like, oh, damn, we was ghetto niggas, when we was putting big rims and tires on cars. Now big rims and tires on cars. We was ghetto niggas when we was putting TVs in the car. Now it's TVs in the car. We was ghetto niggas when we had these crazy candy paint jobs. Now all these cars got these nice little paint jobs. We was crazy niggas for that. We was crazy niggas when we was dressed in a certain way. Now everybody dressed in a certain way. We was crazy niggas when we was eating black nigga food. Not a whole nation's eating black nigga food, saying it's not nigga food. It's just like we see this shit. We was crazy. We was dumb niggas. We was dumb niggas because we had a southern accent or we talked in slang. And now slang is just black slang is just all part of American society. Ain't that ironic? So what we talking about now? Well, we've always been ignorant and stupid. Yeah, now people getting BBLs now. We gotta talk to Black women about this. The fact that Black women getting BBLs is just ridiculous. The women known for big butts is getting big butts now. That don't even make no fucking sense. y'all done went crazy. Y'all narcissism then went through the roof. But it's getting bad, man. Like, that's why I say we unbrainwashing Black America. It's just unbrainwashing us. Because we're seeing like, damn, all these years, people been making these complaints about us and they doing it. We live in a country when I was a child who said weed was a bad thing. Now being a pothead is just all good. Like, what the fuck? It's the niggas, weed is a gateway drug. This is your brain on drugs. And now you niggas got fucking dispensaries and gummies all over the internet and all over the world. And to me, you still a dope fiend. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna still call you a dope fiend. But now it's great and legal. It's like, stop it. But we unbrainwashing America. Now people in their home remedies is a good thing. It used to be, these niggas can't afford, niggas can't afford good house cleaning materials and niggas can't afford good doctors and they're doing all this bullshit witch doctoring and they can't afford real medicine. And now everybody acting like they goddamn Dr. Sebi now. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, people are starting to realize what's really going on. So it's starting to unbrainwash Black America because if you old enough, you starting to look in America like, yo, this the shit my grandparents was talking about. They basically doing all the shit they told me when I was a child was stupid because I was Black, and all the shit that my grandparents was doing. And now that's what America's supposed to be now. Ain't this a bitch? And now we unpacking this shit. And people are starting to figure it out. And when we figure it out, part of being black is, when black people say it's cool, the world says it's cool. So now when black people starting to live in truth, the world's starting to have to live in truth. And now it's becoming a problem. Because people have been living, America has been alive for so long, it's difficult to get to the truth. And I said, I'll back up. It's the same thing with religion. When Black America started, even in the church, going, look, man, I ain't looking in this damn white Jesus no more. You saw less Jesus is on the cross and white depictions of Jesus, because black folks are like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Look, if I come to this church and I see a white Jesus, I'm gone. Even in the black church. So you start seeing less and less depictions of Jesuses in the church, because brothers got tired of that shit. And you really got to give props to Spike Lee on that, because when he came out with the Malcolm X movie, when he brought that up, it started resurfacing with people like, oh yeah. Because prior to that, the only depiction of that was Good Times. When Good Times talked about when they had when JJ made the black Jesus, and when he had the black Jesus in the house, good things started happening for the family, but the mama wanted white Jesus in the house, and to the point where she put up the white Jesus and bad shit started happening to the family. It was a subliminal thing. Prior to that, they had the Sanford and Son. When Sanford and Son was talking about the 12 tribes of Judah, and us black people are, from the 12 tribes of Judah. Like all the shit you seeing now is shit that was going on in the 70s and 80s. And, somebody said in the 90s. That's all you seeing. And then and you start seeing black people using social media and online. They go, oh, that's why that happened again. That's where I remember that from. It's like, yeah, bro, it's just a rerun, my dude. It's just a rerun. And even when you see, and right now, even when you see through media, through movies, through television, through music, everything that people use to brainwash people, religion, what you're seeing now is people been running the same play and doing the same tricks for so long. You're rerunning the same episodes, and now people know it's a rerun. They can predict the whole thing. That's why you ain't found that's why you don't like movies. People don't watch movies as much anymore, because it's the same bullshit over and over again. People don't watch television shows as much anymore, because it's the same bullshit over and over again. People don't listen to the music as much anymore, because it's the same bullshit over and over again. That's why you get people playing video games like that, because basically they just recurring the same tropes, and people got tired of the tropes because now you can see them coming from a mile away. And now Black America's like, yeah, man, I ain't really buying this trope right now. I ain't buying this trope no more. I just can't. I mean, I know where this is gonna go, so I'm done. But you know what? I ain't realized I've been on her damn near 3 hours. Let me get out of here, fam. I might be back tomorrow, but y'all have a great night, man. I'm gonna put the outro to this thing and see y'all later, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
spoken from the lips of the young or the old. Fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way. I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break. Me, I ain't coming back. I got one life to live. If you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me. Plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Lois, come holler at me. I got an iced couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so freaking so fly.